Yeah, trendsetter. Whoa, league of my own, it don't get better. No, read what I wrote, I'm a bestseller. Yeah, reach for my goals, hit it dead center. Hit it dead center. Bullseye, hit it the most, is no misses. Something like fish in a barrel, it's no dip.
Boom! Hey, what's your favorite part of the song?
Of the theme song?
Yeah.
I like the bell. Ding.
Me too. I like ding. Welcome back, everyone. Wednesday night, per usual, the usual schedule of the program. We start this at 9 o'clock every single Wednesday night. It's standing. My wife knows. My kids know. We know DeVito will be late. He's got hockey. Case is now again not arrived. But my numero uno, we're always together, Pete. It's always you and I. Happy Wednesday. Yep. How are you?
Yep. There goes beer number one. At this rate, the show should be called Exiting Milford.
What's that shirt you got
on? Pabst Blue Ribbon, Marshall's $7 special right here.
I love that. June Clelly loves a good Marshalls and Kohl's $7 deal. That's really her sweet spot.
Yeah, name brands.
So we tried to get Innis. Hope Innis and everyone in Florida is doing all right. It got me.
Gave us the old hurricane excuse.
I guess, yeah, whatever. But I got to say, we texted him and I said, I wonder if there's ever been a good storm named Peter.
Okay, so.
Do you know?
I looked this up with my kids. Like a couple, because they wanted to know if there was ever any. There was a Hurricane Pete, which was like a couple years ago, and a Hurricane Peter, which was a couple. But it's funny they have different ones from Pete and Peter.
The thing I read, it was only a tropical storm.
Yeah, it kind of like sputtered out. It didn't do much, and it was out in the ocean.
Hold on, I want to quote, but I believe so. I just Googled storm names Peter.
Oh, okay.
Did you know that there was a cyclone, Peter?
No, that's pretty cool.
The largest cyclone to ever hit Australia is Cyclone Peter.
Wow. What's the first hurricane you remember?
Ooh, Hurricane Bob, 92.
Yeah, Hurricane Bob, right?
Yeah.
That one hit New England pretty hard, I guess.
Yeah. I remember Bob and Andrew were the two that hit us when we were kids.
Yeah, those are the only two I remember. Like, I don't, yeah. They've been doing this all along. They've been naming them for all these years.
All these years. I feel like that one of them was big. Andrew might have been big in Florida.
I don't know. I didn't have power the week that Katrina hit. So I missed the whole thing happening.
No, you did not.
Yeah, I was moving into a college apartment. I didn't have cable or anything yet, so I showed up the first day.
Which year? Junior?
It was it was going into junior year of college. I showed up to the first day of class and everyone was talking about like Bush's response to Katrina. I had no idea what anyone was talking about.
So believe it or not, we moved into our house before college junior year as well. We didn't have cable. We only had 24 DVDs. We watched like 4 seasons of 24 and just drank PBRs. And I remember this vividly. James Blake, Andre Agassi had an epic U.S. Open match. I think it went 5 sets.
Wow. How'd you get to watch that if you didn't have cable?
We had basic, was the plug-in. It was when they still had the wire through the wall.
Remember that? Unbelievable.
And now we're taping podcasts in our basements, hundreds of miles away.
20 years ago.
So what do? We just do this normal now?
Yeah.
I'm ready.
I was thinking of I wrote this down, podcast 108. What do you think of when you think of the number 108?
I have no idea. I should Kiss 108 probably. Is that it?
Yeah, that was the one thing that came up. I was like, what's a good 108? I was like, oh yeah, Kiss 108 FM, the best radio.
You did title it Entering Milton. I don't understand what that. I've missed a lot of things this season. What does that mean?
There's a Hurricane Milton coming, so I figured.
We just had a 6-minute conversation about hurricanes. I didn't know the name of the hurricane, but you called it Entering Milton. Oh, all right.
Yeah, Milton's entering, so I figured that might affect some of the games. I called it Entering Milton. You saw that name all day and you didn't get it?
No idea. Maybe
I need to be funnier. I don't know.
I didn't know what. At first, I was like, "Is Joe Milton starting this weekend?" I'm like, "No." I was like, "Does Lloyd have a Milton on his team?" I'm like,
"I always ask. Always ask. I'll always explain it."
I don't like to ask. If I don't ask, if I ask, it's not organic like this. That's all right. We got there. Hey, just so you know, we commented last week that we have bad endings. So what we're gonna do when we get to the ending is I'm gonna go to ChatGPT and I'm gonna say, write me a joke to walk us out of a podcast. and just see what it gives me. And that's how we're ended. So get ready for it, everyone. Sit tight for the joke of the week.
I like that ChatGPT is back. It gave up for a week, just like Brian
Well,
Casey.
I didn't do the picks in ChatGPT. Once Case quit, the AI system quit too. He's all we had. Let's do the recap though. Good week, huge week, massive point totals, and Lloyd back on the boom bandwagon, which is always nice to see, and the reason why Case didn't show up. So, Pete, give us a little week. What was it? Week 4, week 5? How many games we got? Week 5. That was week 5. Give us a little week 5 rewind, and we'll recap some games.
My God, we became such old men. Okay. Let's see. Boom of the week. It goes to Dan Larkin, 190 points. This one was 19th all time, and his second boom. And his first boom was 165 points. So that really was a pretty bad one. So I think
doesn't count.
This one's more official, quite frankly.
Was this the highest points of the year?
Like most points scored
this year?
Let me double check.
Feels like it. I don't think we've had a week like this.
Why don't you go ahead and kill a little time for a second?
I mean, I can kill time for days. I got my first baseball game on behind me. I'm going to see my first pitch of the season by this guy named Sam Long on the Royals.
Hey, are you missing the WNBA game for this?
Yeah. No, I'm not missing it. WNBA Finals. What are you talking about? There's no game tonight.
When is the first game?
The way they've done it, probably Sunday in the middle of the. I would guess Friday night. I just didn't know it wasn't today. I'm going to be 2 episodes behind on Survivor, by the way.
You know what? Quite frankly, it's not exactly worth watching right now. There are so many different. They're jumbling around so much that it doesn't even make sense right now to really watch it. Ugh.
I don't like that.
Sorry, this is taking so long.
Are you still looking for that thing I just asked? I mean, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, I mean, you want to ask me something. I want to give you the answer.
What are you doing though? You're not even like looking at the computer.
Yeah, I have to go on my phone because blah, 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 blah. No, Spates 192. He had it on week 3. Sorry about that one, Mike. Jeez.
Right.
So, you know, I gotta have things pulled up. I have a really weak Wi-Fi here, so I try to only have one thing going at a time.
Hey, my Wi-Fi's been cooking. This is the whole season. I got FiOS from whoever I have, Optimum.
Yeah.
My Wi-Fi.
We got 4 people watching, so go nuts. Yeah. You know,
no, we don't. Do we really?
Yeah, we do. So good for them.
Right,
They probably love our Canta. All right.
I think so. If you're listening, go to the comment section. We'll certainly address our listeners live. Any questions for Pete and I about our friendship, our relationship, anything? We're open. Sorry, Pete. Go ahead. Boom of the week, and then you go.
I don't know about that. It might be an Ask Me Anything for you. Okay, so put a cherry on this. Beast of the week. Any guesses? You good with that?
I have no idea.
Okay, Jamar Chase had 52 points. This was 15th all time. It was his 3rd beast all time. So good for Jamar Chase. And the going deep, the longest play. Anything?
No.
It's also a Lloyd player. It was Brian Thomas, 85 yards on the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Huge week for Lloyd. Lloyd had a good week. Good for him. His team's right there. The league is still pretty condensed at the top, but Lloyd boom, Spates on top. We've got some good teams so far. But let's go to the game of the week. Game of the week was both the upset of the week, and then according to my little.
Before you do that, we got to talk about the one thing, because the scoring average comes. I look into it a lot, so I mentioned it a lot. Yeah, the scoring average is 142, so major jump in scoring this week. So just an interesting stat. And if you go by that 136 still, teams that hit 136 are 19-2. We had one team that went above 136 and lost. That was Brian Casey this week.
Yeah, good.
So another reason not to join the show. So anyway, thought that was worth crowbarring in.
You showed that thing, and I had a comment that was about to say, feels like the NFL, we have to almost reestablish weeks 1 through 4 in the regular season as the preseason. Like, I think it just takes these teams a number of weeks to refigure out offense, refigure out like getting in shape. Like I think that's my new running theory. First 4 weeks, it's the preseason.
I can get on board with that. In some ways, it changes so much week to week, players anyway, that I kind of miss the old school where you could just sit on like your drafted team and be like, these are my players. But I don't know. It's an OCD world. I mean, an ADD world. Excuse me.
World,
So Yeah, everyone just moves so quickly.
And dyslexia. ADD and dyslexia. It's a wonderful world. All right, well, speaking of ADD and dyslexia, game of the week, Spates. Tough one for the tall boy. Got his first loss of the year, got the biggest blowout of the week. Chosen one showing up, baby. We're 4-1, Pete. This is a little surprising, but give us the recap.
Yes, Mike, you won 173 to 124. It was the biggest blowout of the week, but it was a teeny tiny blowout as far as they're concerned. It was the smallest one. You won wire to wire again. It's the second straight week you did that. So you haven't had too many hard ones.
Well, the first week I beat Case by like 0.5 points.
All right. Well, the last 2 weeks you've been sitting pretty. I'm down here in 10th place. Give me a little. I mean, shit.
All
right. You've won 3 in a row, so you must be feeling good. CJ, pretty bad after back-to-back booms. It was his lowest score by the season by 20 points, so really bad. What I want to know is Tank Bigsby. Mike, you stole Tank Bigsby off the waiver wire before everyone else did. He would easily have been the number one claim. You got him. I want to know what your confidence level is with him compared to your, let's say, Panthers starters. You have Devontae Johnson and Chuba Hubbard. Are one of them going to be riding the bench for your new asset?
So oddly enough, I'm not playing Bigsby this week yet. If something happens to ETN, if they trade him, he's still the number 2. He's splitting carries. As long as Chuba Hubbard, if Jonathan Brooks isn't active, I don't even look to see who he's playing. He's in the
Get out of here.
He's incredible, dude. Like, do you watch this guy run?
No. What's the floor? I mean, I did when he was in college. What's the floor?
The floor is Bryce Young. As long as Andy Dalton plays, his floor is 15 carries, 60 yards, a touchdown, and 5 catches.
Wow. That's pretty impressive.
Funny statement. Because I'm not putting Bigsby in this week. I have to get Saquon in my lineup. I won last week with Saquon out. Yeah.
And he's coming back rested, so you got to get him in. But we can get to that.
So he'll be. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. Jimmy Cook is banged up. Deontay's banged up. I would bet I either pull one of the. I have 2 Panthers and 2 Bears. Is the thing I don't like about my team that I have 2 guys like that. I'll pull up one of the Bears. I bet. I don't love their matchup next week, but we'll see. There's a huge win. I essentially had top performances from everybody, dude.
If you get rid of one of the Bears, though, you have DJ Moore. He was your top scorer last week. Who's the other Bear? Swift.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what you're going to do. You're going to bench Swift for Bigsby. You're going to give it. Yeah, that's going to eat away at you until Sunday afternoon until you do it.
No, I told you nothing eats away at me. We've been commenting all year about how Space's team is resilient. Space's team is this. Bottom of his roster stunk, and Chris Olave didn't even get a target. It was like a weird game. It's bad performance by Spades. You think it's a blip, or what are we thinking if we're CJ after this week?
Yeah, I think it's a blip on the radar. Back-to-back booms can't last forever. You run out of juice. So I'd like to see what happens to see if he reloads here. So we'll see.
So disappointing week for CJ for sure. Interestingly enough, he scored 124.52. Yahoo projected him to score 124.16. So his team delivered on the money. My team just incredibly outperformed. So could chalk it up to I just hit a guy in a good week. He got 170. You're going to have a hard time beating someone with 170.
How do you feel? You're in second place. Do you think this is the highest you'll be all season, or do you think there is a top spot in there?
Dude, I haven't had Puka, man. Richardson's been hurt. I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Are you trying to make a trade? Maybe acquire a large...
I'm trying to make a trade.
Wide receiver?
It's still early enough in the season. I don't think anybody's ready to make trades yet.
Oh, you never know. Sometimes the guy that's in 10th place is hey, whatever.
I know. Pete, one of the things about you that I know is you're 24/7. You're a quickie mart. Anything you want, you're willing to sell it. That's what I know.
Okay.
And then what do we call DeVito? If you're like 7-Eleven or Store 24, open any day, anytime I want. Yeah. What is DeVito? Like an exclusive Chick-fil-A that's only open one day a week? And he has overpriced chicken?
Yeah. I don't even know. Yeah, he's a Chick-fil-A.
I don't even know. All right, tough one for Spates. He wasn't going undefeated, so a loss is a loss. He still sits in first. He's got to feel pretty good about his team. A guy who I'm curious how he's feeling about his team because he's in a tough spot. Breen upset by DeVito. Massive injury to Kevin's team. Pete, give us the recap on our second game. DeVito takes down Breen.
Yeah, Steve with the win. It was 129 to 115. It was a Sunday night football miracle for Steve. He got a Hail Mary come from behind because he had Rico Dowdle go for 100+ yards at Pittsburgh. So good for him. Like, that's a real prayer to win a game on.
Yeah.
What else? Breen, yeah. Not only is Nico Collins, his best wide receiver, going to the IR, he's going to be gone for a month, but it looks like Josh Allen nailed the side of his head real hard. Like, you've probably seen the replay like
how did he not get pulled out of the game? He was concussed.
Yeah. Oh, you're breaking up. Soon you're going to be out of focus. What are you doing wrong over there?
It's you.
No.
It's you. It's not me. My internet's cooking.
No, I turned everything off. There's nothing online here. I swear to God. I'm even going to shut my phone off.
I'll turn my TV off.
Okay, thank you. No, and the thing is, he got Josh Allen has a Monday night game this week, so it's going to be kind of hard. I bet if those concussion whispers start sneaking up, it might get a little testy there. Anyway, Kevin Breen below the magic number for of 136 for 3 straight weeks. Upcoming he has Mike next week, and then he has CJ the week after that. It looks like he might need some players. And I know he has 4 first-round picks that are just sitting there. Mike, do you think Kevin Breen should start to think about maybe moving one of those first-round picks to acquire an asset to give an unlikely playoff run a little boost?
It depends if Kevin thinks he can make the playoffs.
Why not?
If Nico Collins was healthy, I would say 100% move. 1, move 2. If he's looking at his roster and he says Nico Collins is out for a month, Jalen Waddle's on a bye, and then who knows when 2 is coming back. Ramondre's offense is a mess, and my team is Josh Allen and Marvin Harrison Jr. Like, he could be looking and saying, like, that's my team. And he might say, if that's the case, I'll hoard the young guys, keep my picks, and try to land next year's best rookie classes. I could see Kevin thinking like that. Pete, he also has 0 pickups. So it's not like he's not engaging on any side of the market. I don't think he makes a move.
I think, first of all, I don't think there's any value in having these first-round picks. If you can find anybody that can give you talent for him, I would go for it. You don't need 4. You proved this year. You can't hang with. He doesn't need 4. So what are you going to do? Trade 2 of them? So go acquire a playmaker. And honestly, like, it's not a bad idea to get a backup plan for Josh Allen. He came out of the gate so hot. Kevin Breen came out of the gate so hot.
Yeah.
Excuse me. That he is. Oh, I feel so much better.
Any comments? No comments.
So that was a Miller Lite one. Came out of the gate so hot that, like, maybe it was unexpected, but, like, I don't know. I'd at least think about trading some of those.
He's got Chubb, so maybe he looks at Chubb as a return. Ridley was on a bye. He's still could be. I'm with you. You and I would be a little more aggressive than he's being, but I think you could look at it the same perspective and say, sure, but if I can't make the playoffs now, let me take all my picks, see which ones I hit, then take my top 2 next year, my top 3, and then that last one, like we did last year, I'll move it for a first the next year, and he'll keep stacking the draft. I think he's going to be more apt to do that than to trade the picks, because I don't think he thinks he can win.
Oh, see, I think he can, but anyway, who knows?
Kevin is a pessimist. I love Kevin, my guy. He's a pessimist.
Really?
And he will look at this and realize that Lloyd's team is better than his, Spates' team is better than his, my team is better than his, Case's team might be better than his, and he's going to say, sure, I could move a pick. If I move the wrong pick, I'm trading. I don't know anything about college football. Who's the guy who plays offense and defense in Colorado? What's his name? Travis Hunter?
Yeah, Hunter.
I'm moving this pick for future Travis Hunter. Well, we got a trade.
We did live
trade. Spates gets Derrick Henry.
Wow.
DeVita gets Debo and Spates is first.
Whoa! Let me update.
Give me your live reaction, Pete. What's your live reaction to
that? Unfortunately, I think first of all, I'm excited. I think I'm playing. Who am I playing this week?
I don't know. I haven't looked.
Yeah, I'm playing Andy this week. So Andy without Derrick Henry is a much different situation. So I'm a little excited. Maybe he'll put in a quarterback and we can see what's up too.
Love that trade. Love that trade for both guys.
Hold on, let me update the league. Oh no, that my whole internet will explode. I'm not going to do that right now. All right, I'll get to that. Well, good for Andy and CJ making
live fun trade. I like that. Smart for both guys. Debo's. I mean, I played Spates last week and I watched a decent amount of that Niners game. Debo didn't do much.
Yeah. Wait. So Spates gets Henry and DeVita gets Debo in a first
and a one. You got to assume Spates' pick's going to be 8, 9, 10.
That's okay. I think Andy won that trade easily.
Whoa, easily. You are higher on Debo than I am.
Derrick Henry is got a lot of tread, and I don't know. Maybe Spates is scared by his performance against you this last week.
And my first reaction is CJ Spates is all in. If he's making a move like that, he is saying, "Let's go! I'm going to win a title."
This is a reminder. I'm in 10th place and have some talented players that can be traded. If anyone has any interest,
you want to make a live trade? Should we negotiate a live trade on the pod? You and I just no.
Yeah, no. That would be impossible. First of all, it would ruin our friendship. I can't do anything live anymore. I need to be heavily medicated and far away.
People are watching this. People are watching this. They'll snip it. It's not good. Let's not do that. Cool trade. Cool live
viewers. We have a very active viewing base right now.
How come no one's chatting though? Let's see. What do the commenters think? Who won that trade? Spates getting Derrick Henry or DeVita getting Debo Samuel and a future first round pick? Interesting. Good trade.
They're all watching it.
Do we need to talk about Steve's team? We think we gave him enough love with Rico Dowdle?
No.
Lamar's awesome.
Yeah, it's a slow climb, but he is climbing. I do think his team is rounding into shape. But this one overall for him, 115, still too low. You can't hang with that.
120. Well, he had 129. He was the 129 side. He still has a huge hole. Yep. The crazy thing about Steve, I still think Steve's team stinks. He's got a bunch of dice throws in the bottom of that roster. If he can somehow hang on and stick around the middle and Tua comes back, you never know with Tyreek. He does have the ability to throw a couple guys up there that could get 50 points any week with Tyreek and AJ Brown.
Yeah. The problem is, and I get that this is the game, but it's like Lamar Jackson scores 40 points of your, 120, whatever. I don't know. It's just, I know that there's big performances and that's the game, but it looks really ugly without a couple of those big performances.
It does, but he got to win. He upset Breen, which is pretty cool. Speaking of really ugly, Case, Lloyd, what was their room again? Red room battle?
The Red Room rivalry. There was once a time where these two were debating who would not come in last place. Are you okay over there? Oh my God. Your internet is so behind. Oh God, watch this. You're just gonna leave me here talking.
No.
Where was Ennis? One night. That's all I ask. Maybe I could just get a Royal Rumble entrance from somebody.
Go now. There we go. I'm good. I'm back.
Thank God. Okay. Now you're just gonna be out.
This little app you make me go in went to a low definition. I had to go to the middle definition.
Why do you need to be in high definition? You're in your basement.
I'm just telling you what it told me. All right, sorry. What are we doing? Red Room battle. Red Rifle 1, Red Rifle 2.
Yeah, so Dan wins 190 to 143. You can see the potential in Dan's team with Chase and London and Thomas. Even without any quarterback, he boomed. Imagine if he did have a quarterback. I mean, you could also reach out to a team in 10th place that has Kyler Murray. I mean, that would be a good fit on this team, right? Who knows? Good effort by Casey, who threw in a last-minute Green Bay stack by grabbing their tight end. But Devontae Adams out, Kupp was out, St. Brown was out. He still put out 143. So I really do think he does better when he has injuries and he has to make moves and make those kind of adjustments. I just think he's wired that way. But anyway, 143 is a respectable score. Unfortunately, he got boomed on.
Hey, I mentioned remember Red Rover?
Yes, I hated that.
Hated that game. What a dumb game.
I mean, you ever see anybody? I mean, there's got to be somebody that broke their arm in that game.
Has to be.
Or dislocated a shoulder or something.
Right here or something.
Yeah.
Worst elementary school games you could have played, other than friends kneeing you in the face, breaking your nose, and ruining your green jacket. Best and worst playground games.
I mean, no. I don't really remember much. I used to remember we just played football a lot. I remember we played tag. I remember seeing David Trites get a concussion. Do you there that day?
No, I might have been. I remember it.
Do you remember on field day in second grade, your cousin getting nailed by a water balloon?
Yes.
That was one of the hardest hits I think I've ever seen.
Yes.
Yeah. Like that's still with us. How many years later? 30
Mark had
years
that
later?
happen to him, and he ran into a pole at a birthday party in the Milford High School gym, and he chipped his tooth. Poor guy.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad.
Started freaking out. Yeah. For those at home that have no idea what we're talking about, they had like one of those things we did like a water balloon launcher. It was behind the portables, and they let go of a balloon, and it went line drive straight into Mark's chest. And I'm telling you, the thud of it, I think he fell over like one of those carnival games. And I mean, it was a hard one.
I love field day.
If you remember that.
I love field day. Good. Both these guys had pretty good games. I gotta say, I'm disappointed though. I've been telling Dan for weeks, play Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams is the future. You can win with Caleb Williams. Why is he taking Caleb Williams out? I've been telling.
What's the matter? What are you laughing at?
He can't get it right with his quarterbacks.
Yeah,
it seems good.
He needs to trade for Kyler Murray. It's quite really good. Needs to go.
Huge. I mean, it seems like he has found pay dirt in Brian Thomas, which is now looking like potentially, if Neighbors is going to be out, could be the best rookie pick, and I think he picked him 4th. Huge hit there. Chase seems back. That Bengals defense stinks, and so they're going to have to throw it 50 times, and he's got some good guys. And he did that. Like, beginning of the year, we looked at Lloyd's roster. We said Rashee Rice, we said CeeDee Lamb, we said Jamar Chase, and we said Breece Hall. Breece Hall was top 10 in a redraft league. He scored 190. Breece Hall did nothing. Lloyd's team is really primed to make a run if he can manage it the right way.
I'm telling you, there's a ton of potential there.
Tons. Good hair too. You gotta give it to Dan. Speaking of good hair, second best hair in the league, Jeff Innes. A good battle with DeVita that came down to the wire. But give us this recap, Jeff. Andy, 3 versus 10.
You called him the brunette carrot top. Now you're saying he's got nice hair.
He's got nice hair.
Okay. Yeah, Andy.
To be fair, he did look like Carrot Top when he came on.
In some respects, yeah.
Fine. Less steroids.
Andy,
less steroids. Carrot Top.
Andy, 143 to 117. Andy, don't look now, but Andy DeVita scored 135, 145, and 143 the last 3 weeks. Finally, one of them translated to a W. Jeff does bad on odd weeks, believe it or not. His scoring difference is over 20 points. So if it's week 2, 4, 6, 8, who do we appreciate? It would be Jeff Innes. But on the odd weeks, terrible, man, including this one where he gets the L. I have a question for you. Andy DeVita looks like he's moving some people. Derrick Henry's the first to go. Do you think that Mahomes would be next? No. If anyone is interested in that, do you think Mahomes is there for the long run?
I do. I actually could see Andy staying put after trading Henry because Debo is a plug and play. Wow, Pete, good open. My reaction to this game was less about Andy and more about Jeff, though. I mean, Jeff,
me too.
Kamara has been bad now 2 weeks in a row. Jordan Mason didn't do anything. He had Zay Flowers. You've been barely able to play him. He put up 26 points, and Jeff only had 117. I have a hard time tracking how week to week we can comment on how good these teams are, and then he does this. He spends $80 on Devontae Wicks, who gets 4 points. His team now looks very pedestrian. 3 weeks ago, we talked about this guy going to the Super Bowl.
I mean, I am the inventor of the hashtag Jing. Jeff Innes is not good. I've been saying it for years that he's not that great, but I'm just going back on that now because of how terrible he is.
I don't know. I'm surprised. I thought he would be right there, and he is right there. 117 is a bad week, so hopefully he can get a turnaround this week. Good to get Andy off the schneid. Did not want an 0-5 DeVita. Speaking of not wanting an 0-5, I didn't want either of these guys. So last game.
That is true. I kind of went too quickly, but DeVita gets his first win, and Kaleli ruins Spates' 4-0 season. So the Mercury Morris of the league, Brian Casey, somewhere popping champagne on his perfect season. So congratulations to him. Couldn't make the pod. We can go over this one real quick. Christian beat me 150 to 134. This was once a proud rivalry, now resulted to the toilet bowl of the week, which is kind of sad. I tried to block quarterbacks from him all week. That turned out to be incredible karma as he picked up Kirk Cousins, who threw for 500 yards against me. I was like, what's the chances that he's going to pick up Kirk Cousins? And he picked up Kirk Cousins. Yeah. I blocked everybody.
Kirk Cousins was awesome, by the way.
Yeah. So I am 1-4. 7 losses is getting very close. See, everyone knows that's when your season's over. If anyone's interested, start calling.
Pete, why in God's name did you play Jerry Jeudy?
He's got a rapport, Mike. A rapport. Who are they playing? What was it against?
Washington. Right idea, playing someone against the Redskins. They're a mess, dude. He doesn't even get any targets.
I know, but it's the Redskins, which, by the way, has now burnt me 2 weeks in a row.
They did.
When the Arizona Cardinals went in there and got destroyed. I don't think that and they're not the Redskins. I'm sorry, the Commanders. I don't think that the Commanders are a pushover defensively as everyone thinks they are. I think that people will catch up eventually, but they burnt me 2 weeks in a row.
I got to say, I was surprised when I looked at your roster on Sunday that you did not have Madison in.
I didn't like at Denver at the end of the day. I really don't like any games at Denver. That's one that I red flagged because of the altitude.
Me too. Yeah. Well, and I think their secondary is better than their line.
Yeah. So
brighter days ahead, Pete. You do have some guys who can put up a game, and you got D'Adarian's been for sure one of the most disappointing, if not the most disappointing guys in the league. And he finally gets both 30 points from Garrett Wilson, and then he had Cousins score 45 on Thursday night. If you had said coming out of the game, hey, Pete, I'm gonna give you Baker Mayfield 25. I'm gonna give you Darnell Mooney 37. You would have said, "Bring it. I'm winning." There's no question.
Yeah, I did think I had it, and honestly, I think that I put up a good score. I don't think that 134 is particularly bad for the scrubs that I'm running out there. It's just he got hot, and that London game was really the difference when all of a sudden Rodgers hit Wilson like 2 or 3 times. I was like,
I'll be curious if D'Adarian can get a little momentum here. Does Saleh not being there impact Wilson so he can now be?
What do you think?
They shouldn't. I didn't think they should have brought him back last season. He's a below average coach.
Really?
To me, the Jets are the team. They should have gone after Belichick, dude. If I'm the Jets, I would have been like, whatever you want, man. Come in. Come run the team.
That was my next question. Do you think they're going after Belichick? Is that why this happened? No, really?
No, I don't think Belichick will go in anywhere in season. No way.
Interesting. Okay. You don't think he's going to be like a operations guy kind of thing?
Nope. I think the Jets are going to say it's Rodgers on offense and then whoever the guy is on defense. And Saleh's just gone. I don't think Rodgers liked him when he got fired.
Interesting. Did you see the stuff that was going on in Vegas? Completely different story, but with Devontae Adams and like how he wants to get traded and like the whole thing. And then
I think he's going to get traded to the Jets, dude.
Well, they switched quarterbacks today back to that Aiden.
He's Aiden O'Connell? Yeah, he stinks too.
But is that as a result of him demanding a trade? Like, are they like, yeah.
It's never a good sign when your team is taking demands from their players. I think that's in the NFL just a bad sign. It's never. When has it ever gone well when you're like, yeah, we listen to our players make decisions and everything turned around for the positive? It never goes well.
Well, you really got to think Devontae Adams has a Taco Bell in his house.
Yep.
And he drives a golf cart around. Like he's definitely giving orders to people. He's got
a lot of influence.
He's just used to it. Yeah, he's used to it.
Hey, you could get fast food right now. Give me your top 3.
McDonald's, Chipotle, and it has to be like fast food.
Yeah,
probably Burger King.
You can't. Where would Taco Bell end up?
Not very far behind, but I get confused when I go to Taco Bell. I don't understand the menu. This is not an old man problem. I've had this my entire life. What about you? What's your favorite? If you had to go, like they say, hey, we got 3 places near me. These are the greatest. What's your greatest fast food? I can't talk.
So I'd go to Wendy's, dude. I love
like Wendy's.
Love the burgers. A little mayo on the burgers, a little frosty on the side. I'd go Wendy's. If it's open, I do Chick-fil-A. They have good chicken. Or Popeyes, one of those chicken joints. I'm not a big red meat. I'm not a red meat guy, so I would go to the chicken. I'd go chicken first.
I've never gone to Popeyes before. I think I would love it. I've just never gone, and I don't know why.
Can I put Jersey Mike's on there?
We don't have any Jersey Mike's down here.
Yeah, we got Jersey Mike's. I'd go if that counts as fast food. I'd put Jersey Mike's up there too. You know who's a huge Taco Bell guy? We just got a Chick-fil-A in Fairfield.
Interesting. Did you go to Shake Shack at all?
I don't really eat red meat. I got elevated cholesterol. If you want to talk about how I'm trying to keep my LDL and lipid count in control, it's by cutting red meat.
And eating fried chicken.
Fried chicken, it's just better. It's Mediterranean. You know who's a big Taco Bell guy?
Who?
Ray Barlow, huge Taco Bell guy.
Really?
Yeah, huge.
Did not see that one coming at all.
Huge Taco Bell guy. All right, well, we digress. We got picks recap. How do we all do? Well, we all picked green. Whoa.
I couldn't figure out what you picked for the upset in the lock.
But
anyway,
I picked. Oh, I don't know. I don't think I picked any up. Oh, I picked Andy for the upset.
Oh, all right. You won then.
And I locked green.
Yeah. Me and you went 3-2. Those other guys went 2-3. AI said they were taking this one off. They pulled the
They took next week off too because.
And then you nailed more superlatives, so you get the crown. Congratulations. This will probably be the last time we count Brian Casey's picks. That loser.
All right, let's give Case the week off. Do we think DeVito's going to drop in soon? We're coming up on end of hockey time.
I don't know. He usually bounces. If he's listening live, that everyone knows that. So we'll see. This is the score.
All right. We're 5 weeks through. We get some games to preview. Let's just go quick standings check before we go there. So I would like to just kind of see where we are. So from a league perspective, we got 2 4-1. Spates leading. I'm in second. We got 3 3-2s, 3 2-3. So it's concentrated here where I think if you can get 5-6 wins under your belt and separate, I'm curious to see what that middle group does. But the 3 3-2s, it goes Lloyd, Kevin, Jeff, 2-3s, Case, Christian, DeVito, and then 2 1-4, the cousins running caboose on this system. Better get some wins before we start getting too far down the list there, Pedro.
I'm trying, man.
I know you are. I know. I'll give you some advice tonight if you want. Game of the week. Am I back in the game of the week? I haven't checked. I have done
how did Sheila do? How did Sheila do?
We won. I should say she won.
We or she? Yeah.
She won. She blames me every week, and then this week she goes, I finally got to win. I'm like, oh, you get to win.
Would you tell her that did you tell her you finished second in the boob?
No.
No, she'd just be so upset with that.
She doesn't care.
I don't know. I think she does.
She doesn't care. I promise she doesn't care.
She threatened when she deposited that money. She said, I need a return on investment this year.
Well, she really does. I think she thinks we know more about fantasy football because she's like, you podcast every week. I'm like, Sheila, we just talk about ourselves and fast food. Like, what do you? We don't talk about football.
Yeah.
Are we ready? Game of the week.
Yeah.
Me and Breen. Oh, he doesn't have his roster in. Come on, Kevin. 2 seed, 4 seed. Kaleli, Breen, Pete. Let's give the preview.
Yeah. Well, when I'm looking at the matchups, because I don't really look at the history anymore, Allen took a real beat down in that game that he played. That's Breen's quarterback, obviously. And as I mentioned before, playing on Monday Night Football has no real pivot. If there is something that happens, if concussion symptoms come up, if he gets pulled from the game early, he's also got another injury. I think it's a leg injury or something along those lines. Anyway, Allen might be falling apart, and that could spell trouble for Kevin Breen. Mike, I think you have a better overall team when Dak is playing over Richardson, so I'm happy that these injuries have forced you to have to play him.
Don't talk about AR like that.
I know. I get it, but I like Saquon off a bye better. I like DJ Moore. He has your top scorer last week going against the Jacksonville Jaguars, who have yielded the most fantasy points to wide receivers this year. I am going to pick Mike in a lock.
Whoa.
Casey also joins me with Mike in a lock. And Steve picks Mike in a boom.
Wow, geez. I like the support. I'm going to take myself this week. I'm getting Kevin at a nice time. I'm not as worried about Josh Allen. I think he'll be fine. I'm a little more worried about Josh Allen on the road Monday night against the Jets with who knows what sort of vibes coming in, but they need a win. I think he's going to play. I like having Jimmy Cook with him so I can potentially have some coverage if we're closer than I want to be. I have a couple of nice matchups coming out of the gates. We didn't talk about Dak's matchup is excellent. I love the indoor matchup. Should be pretty high scoring against the Lions because the Cowboys defense stinks. Saquon back, you nailed. Higgins, that off. Again, I just think my team's in a pretty good spot, and I'm healthy at the moment. Tricky spot at the bottom of my bench. I took Swift out. We'll see where I end up going. And I just think Kev, with Waddle on a bye, with Collins getting hurt, it just limits his upside a bit. Even with his open spot, I'm going to predict that he puts Jalen. I don't know, because he could hold out for Shakir, but I don't quite even know where he turns at the moment. So I'll take myself. I'm not going to do superlatives.
No superlatives for yourself, huh?
No.
All right. Well, it's a sweep. What does ChatGPT say?
ChatGPT pick me.
Do they? Does it give out anything?
Nope.
No. All right. Interesting. Yeah, I think this is your chance to move into first place with a win here. So you could take an early lead.
Well, in order for me to go into first place, we need game number 2 to go a certain way. That's our current number 1 seed coming off a loss, just making a massive trade with Derrick Henry. Spates takes on Disappointment Boy. 2-3 case, no show on a Wednesday night. Pete, preview it.
Yep, no show. Lame. So CJ has mixing out. From what I've seen from like injury reports, it's a high ankle sprain. It kind of lingers. He can't cut on it. It's not a good sign. It's going to be week to week, but it doesn't look good. So you see Derrick Henry get traded to Spates' team. That's a good. He might be a little panicked on that one. I think he's going to get Neighbors back. Do you think he's going to get Neighbors back or no?
Seems like he should be back, but concussions are weird because it's just you're on or you're off. Right. We have to pick as though he's back, I think.
Okay. Well, I like Jalen Daniels. Is it Jaden? Jaden Daniels. I like Jaden Daniels in Baltimore. I really don't fear the Commanders coming. Like if I own Commanders, I would play them all coming into Baltimore. There's a lot of DC fans around here. Yeah. Remember, the Ravens aren't a real team, so most of the people around here are actually Commanders fans. So I would see there would be a strong home field presence there. What else? Casey doesn't have Jefferson because Jefferson's on a bye. Kupp's hurt. Devontae Adams, who knows what's going to happen? And when he gets traded or whatever, that's going to be a mess. I can't really pick Casey until all that's settled. So I'm going to go with CJ. Casey also agrees with me, and he's going to pick CJ. Steve says the opposite. He's going to pick Casey in an upset.
Well, I'm going to pick CJ here. There's another week where I would like to pick. ChatGPT has Case in an upset, by the way. I would like to pick against CJ because I do think he's in a precarious position with the middle of it. Bring Henry in, excellent trade. I'm doing the analysis off the cuff. Everything I do is off the cuff, so it's not like I can prepare and then switch my notes and making it up as I go along.
You sound like Trump. No one does off the cuff like me.
No teleprompter. I can't do it, Trump.
I can't understand what he's saying. Quite frankly, I'm not sure he knows what he said.
I can't do a Trump. You don't do a good Trump either. Hey, have you seen SNL this season?
Huh?
Have you seen SNL this season?
No.
So this is not politics. I'm not commenting on it. Dana Carvey is Joe Biden. Dude.
Dana Carvey comes back on the show. I used to love Dana Carvey.
Just go watch it after this. Dude, he kills it.
Did you see they did a skit about Spirits, that place that sells all the Halloween stuff?
No, I didn't see that one.
Okay, so this is kind of a long-winded story, but SNL did a skit about Spirits where they were making fun of it. So okay. Spirits nationally released a costume called Irrelevant Sketch Comedy Show from 50 years ago. And it's you can be all like Saturday Night Live category. How funny is that?
That's pretty good.
Somebody at Spirit was so petty that they were like, let's make fun of it. Irrelevant sketch comedy show.
That's character. Yeah. I don't remember where we left off. Case has Amon-Ra back, which will be helpful. Jordan Love against Cardinals could be good, but bottom of his bench stinks. He's still relying on Amari Cooper. Give me Spades. No superlatives for me. Upset. ChatGPT has Case over Spades.
Okay, that sounds good.
Game numero 3. This to me, this is my favorite game of the week. I know it's not the game of the week, but I think it has some of the most interesting implications. We have 3 seed and 3-2 Dan. We have 5 seed and 3-2 Jeff. You got a big point discrepancy, but this I think I'm doing it. I'm doing it. You ready for this? The winner of this game makes the playoffs.
Ooh, win or go home.
Not win or go home. You can lose and still make the playoffs, but I think the winner of this game just separates enough from an important chunk of the standing. So I think this is a good one. Let's get the preview from you first, Pete. Then we'll get some picks. It's Lloyd. It's Innis. Let's hear it.
Okay. I don't want to go too high level here but Dan is the 3 seed, Jeff is the 5 seed. If you beat the 4 seed, that knocks Breen out. So one of these guys. Okay, so yeah, this is a big week for a shakeup with this game. I like it. Okay, so in addition to the stats you said, Dan was the highest scoring team last week. Jeff was the second lowest scoring team last week. So kind of hot and cold going against each other. You know what happens when hot and cold come together? Hurricane. And that's what Jeff's dealing with right now too. So it's getting even worse over there. I'm telling you, for that kid. For Dan, I'm a big believer that when a star player is held down, they're going to explode the next week. So CeeDee Lamb, I think, bounces back from his awful performance. And Brian Thomas, who won the going deep with the longest play, he's going to be playing in London, where the Jaguars are heavy favorites because the crowd is so familiar with their team there. Let's see them showcase their new rookie and maybe get him one on the London game. So big plays ahead. I'm going to pick Dan in the boom. That goes with Casey, who's also picked him in the boom. Steve has picked Dan as well, but no superlative.
I'm going to join the back-to-back boom bandwagon for Dan.
Woo!
I'm going to not only
3 booms.
I'm not only going to predict Dan to boom. I am going to say that CeeDee Lamb. What's the term? What's the thing? What do you get if you're the highest point total of the week? What do you call that?
Beast of the week.
Is going to be the beast of the week too. And I think you're going to have like Breece Hall be like second or third beast. He's going to have a monster week. Dan's team's rounding into form nicely. What do you do quarterback wise if you're Dan? You stick with Fields on the road in Vegas? Do you go to Caleb Williams?
I don't think it matters, but Field does have a good matchup this week, so I just roll with that.
He does. I mentioned that Jeff's team is in a rough shape. The one thing that would predicate Jeff coming from behind on this one is Jordan Mason returning. Seattle's defense is bad. And so the world for me that Jeff has to score a lot of points. So he needs a Tank Dell touchdown. He needs that stack to come together. I don't like them going into New England with Drake May there. I think the crowd's going to be good. The defense is not that bad. He cannot win this game if he doesn't get to 160, 170, and he can't get there if Jordan Mason doesn't put up 30 points. And so I think he could do a Darnell Mooney Thursday night, 38 points that you had, and I'll say, okay, he's in it. If he's under 20, he's got no chance. So I'm going to take Dan. He's going to be my boom this week. I think his team's in a good spot.
There you go. Join the club. I didn't even really think about that, but with the Patriots rolling with, it's going to be May in New England. That is going to be a whirlwind. So I could see all Texans kind of struggling in that game.
Me too. And Pat's defense is not that bad. So if May can keep the offense on the field, like you just can't go 3 and out 7 times. I think it's going to potentially hurt the Texans offense.
I think he'll do well.
Me too. Anyway. It can't be worse than Brissett.
No. I think the line is truly the problem. So by bringing in extra tight ends, that could only anyway. They're going to simplify the whole game plan, and it will result in a win. That is honestly what's going to happen, which they should be doing with Brissett. But anyway,
he's better than Brissett. That's the
different podcast. What are we talking about? Which one?
Next game is 7 versus 8.
Yeah, sorry.
Let's hear it. Head on heads. D'Adarian, DeVito. Get the preview.
Yeah, so D'Adarian gets Hurts back off a bye, but I don't think he wants to go with it. I mean, we got Cousins Pitts stack that hit last week for the first time. D'Adarian's luck was going so well that it made Kyle Pitts relevant. I still think that Christian needs to get another skill player, especially if ETN looks like he might be questionable here. It's a big hole. We talked about this before, but Steve's roster really is rounding together well. You see Brown come back into the active lineup. That makes a big difference when you got that big dog in there. I'm going to take Steve, and I'm going to make it the upset. Steve also agrees with me. He's going to pick himself, but no superlative. And Casey picked Christian. So, Mike, what do you got? You going to make it a split?
What would you do if you were Steve, where he still continues to play Michael Wilson?
Well, I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, who else is he going to play? Quite frankly,
I know who I'd play in a heartbeat.
Mark Andrews,
Jalen Polk. No question.
Really?
Yep.
Even with a rookie
Yep.
against it, and are they at Houston? No, they're in Gillette.
Especially with a rookie. 100%.
Yeah. I don't think he's going to be throwing to wide receivers. I think it's going to be such a small playbook. I mean, Mayo's not exactly who's running the offense. Van Pelt. They're gonna put route tree to Jalen Polk, 2 rookies. Come on.
Guy ran 100. He ran 100% of the routes last week. That's all I'm saying. I'm gonna make it a split. I've got Dadarian in this game. I would have liked to have Christian's middle. I think you hit it nicely with ETN. You didn't say Rashad White, but he's in that same bucket where like, ooh, he's got a couple rickety matchups. I think my prediction this week on Dadarian's roster, Bijan is back this week. I'm going to go Bijan with a 2-touchdown game. I would still put Hurts in over Cousins, but I don't think that's going to be the separating point for Dadarian. Just because if you have Cousins in, you've got Cousins, Bijan, and Pitts all playing on the road against Carolina, which good matchup, but I worry when you're that heavy with an average offense. I think Pitts has a big week. I'll take Dadarian. He's my pick in this game, so we can split it.
All right. What's AI thing or ChatGPT, whatever?
Oh, they love DeVito. ChatGPT picked DeVito.
And what about for the last game?
Lock. ChatGPT locked DeVito.
Locked DeVito. Okay. What about the last game, Jeff and Dan? What did ChatGPT say?
Dan. So this is the only thing about ChatGPT has defeated a boom. But they have Derrick Henry as part of the analysis. So keep it. It's the downside of society. If we're going just technology can't be agile.
Yeah, that's why they made AI. Because it's meaningless tasks that we should not be doing, and you should be evolving from it.
Like making picks in fantasy football games. All right, Pete, give us the last game, Cousin Bowl. 9 seed, 10 seed. This could be loser leaves town, and I hope you don't lose, Pete. Let's hear it.
Yeah, so no Mahomes, no Kelsey, no Aaron Jones, and now no Derrick Henry. This one seems pretty good, right? I mean, like, my cousin's always taking care of me. He's a nice guy. So maybe he's just taking care of his little cousin here. I think I'm catching Andy on a down week, and I will take it. I'm going to pick myself.
ChatGPT has defeated a boom. Who do the two jokesters have?
They have Casey has me in an upset. Steve has me in a lock. I just have me, no superlative.
I have you in an upset. I think you're just coming into a nice spot. Who are you playing at quarterback?
I'll go with Goff.
100%?
Yeah.
No question?
Yeah. Off a bye against Dallas. They're going to have to score. I like it. I'm not going with Kylie. Dude, Kylie's not must start anymore. I don't care. I don't care. I'm going to go with my gut every single week of who I think. I'm just going to go.
I'll take you.
Why? You like Kyler? Do you want him, by the way?
I like Kyler every week, dude. I like Kyler.
He's available for trade, by the way, for anybody who's interested.
I got stunned quarterbacks. I'm good. I'll take you an upset. You're catching Andy in a nice week. No Chiefs. Aaron Jones getting hurt. Myers is banged up. Singletary's banged up. I don't know if he's going to play. You're catching him in a good spot, and you have a couple guys I think are due for decent games. Mooney really turning into a nice favorite draft pick. So I'll take you in the upset as well. I'll join the crew.
Mike, you need a lock.
I didn't pick a lock.
You didn't pick a lock, my friend.
Lloyd. I'll lock Lloyd.
Okay, so that makes Lloyd your boom and your lock. You good with that?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. All right.
Everything else settled?
Yeah. This is such an easy job. Brian Casey bitches and moans about this. It is the easiest thing in the entire world.
We can do this without these guys. All right, let's see.
We've been doing it without them for a long time.
Yeah. All right, so I want to say I'm closing a fantasy football podcast.
Yo, before we close, shout out to Jeff Ennis. Good luck out there with
good luck, Jeff. Seriously.
Evacuating Tampa. He said that this would be a great alternative to listen to if he doesn't have power tomorrow, which I commented in the chain with him and Mike that was probably our best review we've ever received.
It is. We didn't get any of the live. Do we still have 5 people watching this?
No, we're down to 2. We lost a couple. We lost a couple. Imagine it's a podcast about them, and they're like, nah, this is boring. I would love this.
All right, here we go. So I said, I'm closing a fantasy football podcast with my high school friends. Can you give me a joke to end the show? All right, folks. Ready for this?
Yeah, I'll get the end stream button ready.
All right, ready. Yeah. All right, folks, that's it for today's episode. Remember, fantasy football is a lot like high school. Some people peak early. Others take a while to hit their stride. But in the end, We're all just trying to avoid the guy who drafted a kicker in the 8th round. See you next week.
I'll take it.